Yes, I can believe. More the patterns. Yeah. Please say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So good evening to everyone. On this beautiful day, beautiful Friday too, we are here to practice noble practice of meditation. So I wish that may all of you have a good experience today too, and may you be able to develop in your practice. So, so there is this eagle. Eagle can fly very fast, but if it doesn't think to fly fast, so if it idly sit, it won't even pass one single step. Then there is this ant. So it is small. It can go. Its speed is very slow compared to when we compare it to eagle. But the ant, so if it thinks, so it is an active insect. So it travels. So when it actually travels, it travels continuously. So it even though the ant, if it thinks, it can pass 100,000 of miles, since it is walking continuously. So we have to be like the ant too. So lay people are just like, they are not like monks. So you have a lot of duties to fulfill, and there are so many bondages that you have clung to. So therefore, you can't dedicate time for Dhamma just like monks and nuns. But still, if the ant continuously walks, then it will reach its destination for sure, right? So what we should do is we should follow the practice of the ant. Yes, we have to do our duties, right? We have to engage in our jobs, and there are many other duties that you have to do towards society and the family and all those things, all those people. But still, you have to practice ardently without stopping. So managing the time that you have efficiently. People think they have a lot of time. So they think they have a lot of time. But the truth is, we have a very small amount of time. You can see the people that you associated during the first periods of your life. How many of them can you remember? Can you think of as alive? Most of them might have passed it. They also had the time that they thought they had a long time, but they passed it. You also think the same, but the reality is totally different. So within the small period of time that you have to practice ardently, managing the time. managing the opportunities. So without being remorseful, thinking, oh, I couldn't do this during this time, I couldn't do that during this time, right? So you have to manage. So managing the time, you have to practice just like an ant, right? So whenever you encounter negativities, you have to deal with them. So now we are practicing Vipassana. So all students, so you have to deal with them in 7 ways. In 7 ways. Buddha teaches. So the first way is you have to encounter your negativities dasana, philosophical. Right? Philosophically means so there is a right. So whenever negativities arise, you have to understand that this negativity is harmful for me. For an example, if jealousy arises, you have to understand this is not a healthy emotion. This is a wrong emotion that has arisen because of ignorance. Right? There is nothing to compare. You are you. The other people are as they are. Right? Different karmas, different beings, right? Different atomic structures, everything different. So and we all are we all are in a complete flux of impermanence, right? So if you focus on the other people's this and that, then you don't have enough time to focus on you, right? Then what you should do is you have to understand that's harmful, right? Understanding that it is harmful. So you have to change your thinking pattern. You have to change your thinking pattern about that jealousy, right? So you have to develop a thinking pattern, a philosophy to get rid of that jealousy. By developing, changing the philosophy, the vision, right? You that is the first way that you can get rid of negativities, right? So if you can keep in mind, and if you like, write them down and then comment it on your groups. Okay. So I know certain students have their own meditation groups, right? So then that's a good thing. So that's the first one. Eradicate negativities, get rid of negativities by vision. Then second one, samvara. Not only you develop the vision, you have to control yourself. You have to get rid of negativities by controlling yourself, right? So you think of, so whenever there is a negativity, there is a part of pleasure, even in jealousy. So throughout our samsaric lives, we have developed negativities more than positivities, right? Then when we develop negativities, we enjoy it too. Then you have to understand, even though this is pleasuring, but still it's harmful. Pleasure is temporary, but harmfulness stays for a long time. Bad effects, harmful effects, they will torture me for a long period of time. So this is not, I should control myself. So you get rid of negativities by controlling yourself. That's number 2. Okay, Sangvara. Number 3, Patisevana. Patisevana means association. You have to get rid of negativities by association. So when jealousy arises, against that, you associate sympathetic joy. Against a bad emotion, you associate a good emotion. You start to think, I don't know about the background story of this person, but this person might have undergone uh, undergone through a lot of difficulties to achieve this. I have to be happy because this person is having the final result, what he expected. Throughout these years, what he suffered for, what she suffered for, all throughout these years. I'm glad, right? So instead of letting the jealousy to overpower you, you embrace, you associate sympathetic joy. So against harmful thoughts, you associate compassion and loving kindness. Right? By association, you have to get rid of negativities. Right? So you are doing all these things through in this Vipassana meditation. You don't know, but today you learned it. Right? Then number 4, tolerance. By tolerance, you have to get rid of certain negativity. Right? Sometimes there are situations that you develop anger, right? And so then your whole body is shaking to get revenge. But what you do is you understand with wisdom that it's harmful. You should not harm anyone, because if you harm, bad karma follows. That's true too. And the other thing, you harm yourself too, while you harm all the other people around. When the crime is done, not only the criminal and the victim gets the face the difficulties. All the family members, friends who are related to both of them, they face difficulties. Understanding that with wisdom, you bear, you tolerate, right? You tolerate. Buddha once said, biting your teeth, sometimes you have to tolerate, right? So that's biting your teeth. So you have to tolerate giving you everything. Whatever it happens, I'm not going to harm anyone, right? So then that is by tolerance. Then number 5, by keeping outside. So vinodana, you don't starve. You always keep it outside. You don't bring it close, right? So vinodana means that. So there are certain negativities, so that you don't have, you don't touch them. No. Wrong actions so there are certain wrong actions that you didn't start them yet. You don't do that. You keep them outside, right? So you don't take outside fire inside, right? Then so if you have insurance, wonderful. If you don't have insurance, you are good. So just kidding. So somehow you should not take outside fire inside. Then parivajjana, avoiding. You have to get rid of certain negativities by avoiding. You meet, but you go your own way. You don't indulge it, right? Situations they. So when a visitor comes and knocks at your door, decision is at your hand. If you open, decision is at your hand whether to open the door or not to open the door. Visitors knock. Their job is to knock. But you have to select. This is a harmless person, to select whether this is a harmless person or a harmful person. And to open the door and not to open the door. Right? Parivajjana. And finally, bhavana, meditation. By meditation, you get rid of negative. So there are 7. There are 7 ways of getting rid of negativities. You are practicing these things within your Vipassana meditation practice, right? So work ardently. Being loving, being kind towards yourself. Then being kind towards the others. First towards yourself and then towards the others, right? So if you can't be kind to yourself, you can't be kind to the others, right? So you might show kindness, but that's not actually kindness. So you have to love yourself before loving the other people. It doesn't mean you should be selfish. So loving means, so it's not craving. The pure love is, so without any expectation, you open your heart, right, towards yourself and then towards the other people, right? That's love. So then please practice like that. Observe the sensations as they actually are. So today, please start the 5th step of Vipassana meditation. What is that? Start observing your right leg. So start observing your right leg. So we kept on observing up to the back area. Today you will start observing your right leg. So start with the buttock area. Then after that, the thigh area, knee area, so lower leg area, right? Then ankle and so upper foot and lower foot, right? So thigh, so buttock area, then thigh, then knee, then after that lower leg area, then ankle, upper foot, then lower foot, right? So that to the tip of the toes, right? So part by part, pitch by pitch, please observe. Whatever the sensations that you feel, be aware. They're impermanent change. The newcomers are requested to practice breathing meditation. Please keep on observing the breath. When the breath is coming in, please be fully aware. When it is going out, please be fully aware. Don't go with the breath all the way in. Stop your observation at the end of your nostrils. So the end of your nostrils, you can't see it. It's invisible. You have to feel it. So when the breath goes and touches that area, then stop observing. Wait patiently until it comes back. Very soon it will come back and will touch the very same area and go out. And when it comes back and touches the very same area, start observing again, right? Now my breath is coming in. Now the breath is going out. Now the current breath is gross, current breath is soft, current breath is long, current breath is short. Judge and observe accordingly. But don't cling to them. Let them come and go as they actually are. Your job is just to observe, right? So ardently, with a very calm mind, keep on observing. Keep on observing. All students, Vipassana students, please practice Vipassana. Now we are going to start. So first I will pay our respect to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Then we'll begin. Now please keep your back straight. Neck straight. Head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Take a deep breath. Let it go. And calm down and relax. Please concentrate. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho. Vinja charana sampanno sungato lokamido. Anuttaro purisadang masarati. Satta deva manusanang mundo bhagavati. Swangato bhagavatadang mo. Sannitiko akaliko. Ehi pasiko opanayko. Pachatang veditabo vinyuhiti. Supanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Unyupanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Nyaya panipangno bhagavato savaka sangho. Sami cipatipangno bhagavato savaka sangho. Yadidang chattari purisa yugani atte purisa puggala ese bhagavato savaka sangho. Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakineyo anjali karaniyo Anutterang punyakitang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very equanimous mind, please start your meditation. If you are practicing breathing meditation, please keep doing so. If you are practicing Vipassana meditation, if you are an old student, please keep doing so. Whatever the meditation practice that you do, give you everything. Give you everything. May your meditation be very, very successful. Please start your meditation right now. Now, please keep your eyes closed, but if your legs are hurting, you can change your legs. You can let them relax. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation in breath. First, let's share our loving kindness with ourselves. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness first towards yourself. Now let's spread our loving kindness towards our parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. May my mother, may my father, may my teachers, may my relatives and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards all those people. Now let's spread our loving kindness towards the people in the middle. The people who are not your enemies, who are not your friends, the neutral people. May all the neutral people also be well. May all the neutral people also be happy. May all the neutral people also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the neutral people. Now let's spread our loving kindness towards the enemies. First, please let go of your grudges that you have towards your enemies. And at the same time, please If you have done any mistake towards them, please ask forgiveness. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards the enemies. May my enemies also be well. May my enemies also be happy. May my enemies also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the enemies. Now let's think about all the beings in the world. Not only human beings, we think about animals, insects, fish, birds, and all the visible and invisible beings. Regardless of their differences, let's share our loving kindness with all. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards all the beings. All the beings. Bhavetu sabbe mangalam rakantu sabbe divatam sabbe buddhanubhamini sabbe dhammanubhamini sabbe sanghanubhavini sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please open your eyes very calmly. Let your whole body to relax. Now please join your palms together and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, hope you had a good time, good practice. But as I always mention, you have to work hard. So even though you have a cow If you don't milk it, you don't get milk. Even though you know the technique, but no practice, no practically you practice it, no good results, right? So ardent practice is very important. Today, so I was teaching you about the 8 noble path, and I already taught about so 5 of them. Number 1, right view. Number 2, right concept. Number 3, right speech. Number 4, right action. Number 5, right livelihood. Oh yes, right livelihood or livelihood. Yes. Okay, any accent is fine. All right. So then today I'm going to teach you about the next one, right effort. Right effort is in those days language it is called as samma aji. Right? Samma vayam. Sorry, samma vayam. Vayam means effort, trying. Right? So from starting point of your life to the ending point of your life, it's all about trying, right? So then effort. So effort, samma means right. Effort in the righteous manner. So Akhil, if your legs are hurting, you can direct them to the wall. That's fine. Yes. So then right effort. Effort is very important. Without effort, nothing, you won't succeed in life. Let it be a material goal, let it be a spiritual goal. If you want to achieve it, you have to dedicate time and try. So one day, this is from the Buddhist time. One day, there was a Bhante, during the Buddhist time, there was a Bhante called Mahasiva. So this Bhante started practicing, but whenever he concentrates the mind and when he is about to practice Vipassana meditation deeply, something happens and his concentration goes away. So it breaks down. One day, this Bhante was so frustrated, right? This Bhante was so frustrated, he started crying. One wise person saw this. So that wise person, he had practiced too. He's not a monk. So he also saw this, and he saw Bhante Mahasiva crying. So mostly Bhantes are considered as very so Bhantes are considered as human beings with a lot with higher tolerance, higher patience, something like that. So then he's crying. Then so this person went to that Bhante and he also sat closer to Bhante and he started crying. Then he also started crying. He cries louder than Bhante. Then this Bhante heard this layperson crying and asked, "Why are you crying?" So I am crying because I also want to attain enlightenment by crying. Because here is a Bhante who is crying so to attain enlightenment. So then maybe crying is a path to the enlightenment. So I am also crying to attain the enlightenment. Then Bhante understood his mistake. He got up and he thought, even this layperson is mocking me. I should try hard. I should practice hard. Thinking so he practiced hard and later on he attained the enlightenment. So trying is, so you should try. Sometimes it might, to get good results, it might take a short period of time. According to different people have different abilities, some according to their sansaric lives, and they have different karmas, right? And different abilities that they develop from life to life, and different karmas. So people are different. That's why two beings, even the twins, are not equal. They might look equal, but they are not equal. No being, Buddha said, no being can be compared to another person. Your life is your life. Nobody can live an equal life like you. And nobody can feel the sensations, the thoughts that you experience. They are unique. They are unique. So what Mrs. Sriyansh feel, I never can feel it in that way. What Artem, Mr. Oliver, or Bipul, or Akil, or Ms. Shanti, or Dinisha, or anybody. So online you would, so know what you feel. I can never feel that. Even the same feeling, the way that I feel, according to my concepts, they change. So that's why Buddha said, beings are unique. Beings are unique. Nanatta kaya, nanatta sanya. Different bodies, different ways of experience. Mental experience, physical experience. So true, the phenomenons, so impermanence, common. It's applicable to everybody. Phenomenons, dhammas, they are common. But experiences, they are different. Right? So then, according to your way, you have to keep trying, working hard. Right? So whenever you break down, you have to find your own solutions, right? With the help of wise people, listening to wise people, working hard, you have to come out of them and you have to move forward, right? So that's how you should do. Then, then when you go, you have to understand that you should move forward. So you should move forward without letting the distractions to succumb you. There are so many distractions. Sensual pleasures come and then they try to drag you, right? So there are so many. So eye based, ear based, nose based, tongue based, body based. So many sensual pleasures, sensual distractions that come and try to drag you. So so they all come and say, "Oh, I'll give you the best comfort. Come here." You can't go. Then if you look, they drag you, they catch you. Then so sometimes anger, irritation, sometimes so so pleasure tries to catch you, and then irritation, anger, it also tries to drag you. And then after that, so doubt, sorry, laziness also tries to drag you, and it also doesn't want you to go straight. Okay, oh, please slow down, don't go that much fast, right? You can do it tomorrow, why hurry, right? So then you stop. Then after that, wandering mind. The mind is wandering here and there. You start one thing and then you start another thing, then you start another thing. You don't finish anything, right? No, wandering mind, right? I can do that, I can do this, I can do this one too. Then you start multiple things, nothing. Nothing continues well, right? Wondering why. And then it also drags you back. And after that, doubts. Can I do it? Can't I do it? Do I have the strength? Don't I have the strength? You doubt, right? Then doubt also drags you. So these 5 enemies are there. So when you try to go straight, you have to beware. And you have to understand that you have determined whatever it happens, I will go my way, giving my all the strength, right? You deal with them accordingly. You don't let them succumb you and drag you. You go for it, right? So, but developing, it should go. So I can teach you the technique, but you have to apply accordingly. So understanding them according to your own way. So I taught you about those seven ways of getting rid of negativity. I can't stay with you all the time just like a secretary. Okay, you are doing this wrong thing. Okay, apply the second one. Apply the first one. Apply the third. No, I can't. Buddha always said, "Tumhe hi kichang atapang akhataro tatado." You have to work hard all by yourself. No outer force, so some kind of outer big force come and give you the enlightenment like this. Oh, you are enlightened. So nothing can make you enlightened. So the others cannot make you enlightened. You have to work hard, right? Nobody else can make you peaceful. They can't give you peace. So they can't give you happiness. You have to work hard for it. Akkataru tathagata. So the Buddhas, they are the guides. They can guide you. You go this way, go that way. You have to go accordingly. That's your thing. So all these teachings, understand them and apply. And try to get rid of these 5. Somehow, these 5 distractions, they are bound to pull you back and try to slow you down and distract you from your goals. So if you so even though you get rid of them, still you will lose time. So for something, so you get distracted for 5 days, then you lose 5 days of your progress, right? So beware. These 5 are bound to come and drag you back. So they are called as Pancha. Artem, do you know the name? Pancha Nivarana. 5 hindrances, right? So 5 enemies. So then you have to develop. So general effort is, so you had determined until you had determined and discipline yourself until you reach your final goal. So that's how you reach so general goals in your life. So spiritual goal. So for spiritual goals, there are another 4 effects that we need to develop, right? So now, first kind of effect that you need to develop is, so this is about the spiritual effect, right effect. First one is, so if there are negativities that you already do have, you have to determine, you have to develop effort that you have to develop effort to come out of the negativities that you already do have. That is the first thing. I have negativities, I have to come out of. You recognize them and then you try to come out of. That's the first effort. And what is the second effect? So then there are negativities that you have not yet started, right? So you develop effort not to let them rise, not to associate, to completely avoid, right? So, so in those days language, Buddha says, Anupannanam papakanam akusalanam anupada. Not to give birth to the negativity that you have not yet started. Right? So there is someone, for an example, there is someone who kills the other people, then who practices stealing, who practices sexual misconduct, but who doesn't lie. So that person determines. So these are the negativities of mine I will get rid of. And I don't have this negativity. I will keep it. I will not start telling lies. Understood? Right. So for that, you develop determination, effect. Then third effect. So the positivities that you do have, you determine, I will keep these positivities. And at the same time, I will try my best to develop, right? So there are positivities that I already do have. You are a generous person, you give, right? You donate. You can donate. You have developed the ability to be generous, so you donate. You have the ability. You don't harm anyone, right? You don't steal anything. You don't practice sexual misconduct, right? You don't lie. So you try to keep them. You don't take intoxicants. You keep them. And then what you do is you try to practice them. You try to develop it, right? Then there is the third effect. Then do you know the fourth effect? What is the fourth effect? Fourth one, I didn't tell it then. Yeah. So the positivities that you have, that you have not yet started, you determine, you put effort to start. Say, so you have certain good qualities, but you don't have started certain good qualities. So for an example, you are not harmful. You always avoid killing or harming the others. You always avoid stealing. You always avoid practicing sexual misconduct. You always avoid lying. You always avoid taking intoxicants. But you don't have the ability to give. Wholeheartedly give. By giving, you can't be happy. You haven't developed that ability. Right? So then if you cannot, you determine, right? I have to develop that ability with it, right? So if you don't have, you have donation boxes at the temple. Every month you can start donating. Just kidding. But if you can, that's good. So somehow, certain people, if they don't have the ability of giving, then they should determine, I should practice giving. Then, so when you talk, sometimes you talk unnecessary things. Then you have to appreciate that you don't tell lies, that quality. Meanwhile, you determine, I should not talk meaningless things. Thinking so you stay mindful, preventing the usage of meaningless speech. You won't talk too much about politics, too much about this millionaire, that millionaire, so neighbors gossips, so those stuff. So there are certain things that you have to know when you live in the general world. So if not, so for an example, in Hawaii, so in Hawaii, so uh, since those people who got to know about the fire, they ran away earlier and they escaped earlier, so they were not harmed. Those who didn't understood it's coming there, then they got harmed, right? Just like that. So certain things you have to know, certain things you have discussed, but not too much. Unnecessary things you have to cut them down because it harms your time. You will lose your time, and you will let the other person lose their time. Right? Useless speech, and so avoid useless speech. These kinds of qualities. So if you don't have these qualities, what you do is you try to develop. So then you don't have the quality of smiling. For an example, whenever you see someone, you have a habit to stay like this. What you do is you determine next time, starting from the person that you see in the next moment, I will start smiling. And I will say something nice. You smile, but you don't say something nice. What you do is you develop a quality of saying something nice, right? So, like that, you develop these qualities. Oh, right. I have these good qualities. I will preserve it. Yeah. So, and then after that, whatever the qualities that I don't have, you appreciate. Meanwhile, appreciating what you have, these are the ones I don't have. Let me develop. Let me start and develop. Right. So, even during the sitting, you do that. At the beginning, sitting is so hard. It's paining. You hate it, but gradually you start liking it. So it's hard to like it, but try and try to prolong. Then at that time too, what you do is this one. You get try so you develop patience with it. You develop the patience that you didn't have before, right? You have developed the tolerance that you didn't have before, right? Somehow this is the fourth one, fourth kind of right effort. We have to apply these. So, philosophically, they are nice to hear, but you have to apply them in your real life. I always mention you here. I teach these things not for an philosophical entertainment. You always have to practice, right? You have to apply. You have to practice. When you practice and get good results, that is the best gift that you give to your teachers, right? So please practice. Very important. Then, so it doesn't happen at once, right? It takes time. So, but when you have the theory, when you gradually apply, so you gradually develop in the practice. So now you have the theory. Start applying this right effort in your life. Right? Always at night before you sleep, analyze what are the right things that you did during that day. Oh, then appreciate yourself. Oh, very nice. So, for an example, let's say Dinesha, oh, Ms. Shanti appreciates. Oh, Ms. Shanti, wonderful. You did these good things today. I appreciate you. So, just like a third person, you appreciate yourself. And at the same time, you analyze, not only you think about the positive side, negative side too. Okay, Oliver thinks about the negative side. right? I told this way to that particular person out of anger, but that's not good. I should have tolerated, I should have practiced patience a little bit more, right? So Mr. Rian thinks, oh, so I didn't do that. I had time, but I didn't do that. I didn't do something which you could do? Then you determine. Oh, I had time, but I should have done that at that time. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? If I die, who knows? So when I have time, next time I will do those things on time, right? So then after that, so if you did anything wrong, you think back, and you criticize, and not only you criticize, at the same time you determine not to do that. Right? Okay. These are parts of right effect too. So every day at night, Buddha taught this to Bhantes and nuns to practice. I teach you. I on behalf of the Buddha, I teach you. Teach this practice for you too. Analyze yourself at night, right? So then practice right effort to come out of all the negativities that you already have, and not to start the negativities, not to arouse the negativities that you haven't yet started, right? Arouse. And so to continue and multiply the positivities that you already do have, and start the positive actions that you have not yet started. This is the right action. So apply it into your life, right? According. Be clever. Be clever. Be clever for yourself, for your own benefit. So we are teaching this. So out of we are teaching this out of compassion, because it helped. It helped. These practices helped the Buddha and countless enlightened beings in the past, and many people in the present, including myself. If you practice, so then you are bound to get the same benefits in your life. That's why I teach these things, right? That's why we learn these things. So please practice them. Don't only keep it for philosophical entertainments. Okay, right. Please think today too, all of us gathered here and practice this noble practice of meditation, and accumulated a lot of positive energy. By the power of all this positive energy, may all our troubles be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. May we be able to come out of all the negativities and finally attain developing all the positivities. May all of us finally attain the real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. Nibbana. With those thoughts, please join your palms together and concentrate. Abhivadana silise nichang baddha pachainu chattaro dhamma baddhanti ayuvang sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vache ato nibbane sampatti iminati samijjato. May you all be well. May you all be happy. May you all be very peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Good night to everyone. take rest, and see you in the next week, next Friday. May you be happy. Miss Rahul, Miss Pragati.
Hello, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Miss Rahul and Miss Pragati, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
can
Bhante.
hear you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bhante.
good night to
Night.
both of you.
Good
May
night,
all the
Bhante.
good happen to you.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Bhante. Thank you very
May
much.
you be happy.
Thank
May
you.
you be happy as
May
well.
you be
Thank you
happy
very
as well.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.